Hello my crafty friends, I hope you are enjoying my tutorials over on my craft channel, Corin's Crafts. Well, I am having so much fun making all of these projects for you. Now today's project is just as much fun. We're going to incorporate lots of different elements to make this absolutely beautiful card with these paper flowers. So this is paper flowers this time instead of foam, and a nice little basic sentiment, keeping it really simple, and I love the colours. So if you want to see how we make this, we're just going to show you now on my video. Shall we have a look at how this card is made? Again, I've taken two of my previous signature collection packs, and I'm using my interlinked panels. Now this is the bubble one from the top, it goes that way around as you can see, and you get the die, but you also get an edger die as well, but I'm not using that. So this doesn't have a blade around the outside, so this will cut into your cardstock. And then the other one I'm going to be using is from my interlinked frames. So I've got the circle, which are all joined up with like the bubbles, which I really love. In this pack there's also a square, and I love this one with the foliage coming out of it. So these are the ones we're going to use on the front of our card. So what I've got here is I've got a piece of card, and this is 5.5 by 6 3/4. Now just checking I'm cutting into the right one. Yes, I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lovely frame, and I'm just going to, either way, I'm going to pop it on here. So I'm just going to do this just like that, and I'm going to then tape it down. Now remember, this is cutting into my cardstock, so make sure you've got it where you want it to be before you start cutting in. I'm going to pop that onto my cutting plate, and then I've got my clear shim, my magnetic shim, and my top cutting plate, and I'm going to run those through. Let's run those through like that. And then the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to be, while that's doing, I can talk through that. I'm going to be, not out of that, I'm going to be cutting this out of some gold card. I've got little bits of scrap. So let's have a look at this on here. There we go, and you can see just on there. Oh, that's a bit sticky. Where's my sticky? Oh, there it is. That's a bit sticky. I can feel the glue. I'm just going to rub that off. Get that glue off there. There we go. So that's cut into my cardstock. So let's do the circle next. I've got lots of bits on here, so let's get rid of those, and then we can pop that one onto there, and then onto there. Let's use that piece of tape. I'm going to just pop that on here like that, and then I use all my plates again, and then I'm going to run that one through as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise this, and we're going to pop it over another piece of white. So I've just taken another piece of white that's about 1/8 of an inch bigger, so this will show through there. And then, I can show you. There we go, reach over. And then this will then cut through there, and I've got this gorgeous sort of matter circles. So we can sort of get all the bits ready. So what that's going to do is that's going to sit onto some white, and then that's going to sit onto some pattern paper. So you can see my colour theme that's coming onto here. So that's going on like that. I went about 1/4 of an inch bigger with there so it would stick out. Now you don't necessarily need this piece under here. If you wanted, that would look equally as nice if you wanted to see the colour through. I'm sure that's the way I'm going to go, but things could change. We'll see in a minute. We'll do that. And then I'm going to go, now I was going to mat onto some gold because I wanted to pull the gold all the way through, but I didn't like, move that out of the way, don't like the pattern paper onto the gold. I thought that if I put a very fine matte layer, again 1/8 of an inch, and then mat onto the gold, I like that effect better. I like that white rim. So my card blank is 6 3/4 by 8 inch. Again, I've done it from a piece of A3. So let's mat and layer those together. We can put those on here. If you want it smaller, then you just need to do your mats and layers that little bit smaller. So that's going to go on there. So I use my collal glue because it's behind the mirror. there like that. Just make sure that's straight. Then, because my white's going onto my mirror, I'm going to pick up my all-purpose glue, or my tacky glue, because I don't want to use the all-purpose onto mirror because it could strip the coating off the mirror. It's a really good glue, but it's about knowing when's the right time to use them. If you prefer to use finger lift tape, then go for it, or red liner tape. It's entirely up to you, but I do like using wet glue. Now, I have to admit, when I first started, I always used tape to do my mats and layers, but not anymore, and I don't know why it changed. I have no idea why it changed. I just suddenly decided that I was getting better results using a wet glue. So we can put that one on there, just like that, and you can see we're getting that perfect mat and layer. It really does make all the difference to your project. Now I've got to decide, do I want that on there or do I want that on there? Actually, I think I'm going to go like that. I think I am. The alternative, there is an alternative, would be to cut out the centre of that, and then I could have that white layer, but I could have the colour showing through. Or there is one more way, and I have a piece of that left over. That would work easier, wouldn't it? We're flying by the seats of our pants here, folks. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop that. This is what I'm going to do. Change my mind as we go. This is going to go on here. Collal glue on here. That's going to... Now, if you want to take the centre out of your pattern paper, then go for it. You can save it for later. And then I'm going to pop this one on to here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it behind, just hold it behind there, and then line that up like that. Let's just straighten that there, so I know that's in the right place. Yeah, make sure my mats and layers are straight. And then, if I could see my brayer, I might have a brayer of them, but I've put it down somewhere. In theory, I've tidied out my craft room, and I'm still losing stuff. Oh, I wanted to brayer over my layers, but I cannot see my brayer anywhere. I probably dropped it somewhere. Right, okay, so that'll do. And then we're going to pop that. Yes, I'm much happier with that now. We're going to do that, but I'm not going to stick it yet. Now, I've got one of my sentiment dies. I've showed you all of these before. These are from my Sharon Callis set. So I've got Congratulations. We've not used this one yet. So I've got some linen cardstock, some nice sort of lemony linen cardstock. Push that out of the way. And, oops, I can bring in my smaller die cutting machine. If you've got a small manual one, whatever brand it is, that would work. Put that up there. And we're going to do that. And then that's going to come out of here. Oops, I'll take that out of the way for a minute. And that is going to sit on the bottom down there. I like that. There we go. So I'm just going to grab my tweezers and I'm going to come in with some wet glue, just a little bit on the back of here. You could use your tape pen if you wanted to, but I'm just using my wet glue because I think that's where I'm used to doing it like that. And I like being able to adjust it and move it as well with having the wet glue on it. So let's pop that on there. And then the other bit I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap off the excess, move that out of the way so I've got it straight. And then I'm going to pop that down at the bottom. And you'll see why I'm putting this on now in 1 minute when I do it. So I'm definitely putting it over to the right hand side. That is not straight. That is not straight at all. So let's take that. That looks a bit better. See if I can get a clean wipe. I don't want to use one that might have some ink on. And then I can just tap off there. There we go. Let's just make sure that's stuck. There we are. Right, now I could actually stick this onto my card base. So, big roll of foam tape to the rescue. You've seen this, and I've shared some links. I'll share some links again for this if you want, and then I can just pop that on like this, just here. It's not actually in the crafty section of Amazon. I think it's in the DIY section, because I think it might be for Windows draft exclusions and things. It probably is moving more into the craft, but I just love it. It's big. Well, look at the size of that roll. Massive. But it's so useful to have, and when you're doing things like this, it just lasts forever. So pop a piece up here, and then I'm just going to pop a piece just there. So now I can pop that on to my card base. Now I've got a really, really slim border. It is just 1/8 of an inch. It's tiny. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to put wet glue on the back of my foam tape. Now this foam tape, I've never known it give up and let go of the project. So I don't need to do it for that reason. I've never known it dry out and release. But then I suppose it depends how long you keep it for, doesn't it? But by putting the wet glue on, not only does it make the foam tape last longer, but it also means I've got more control, and I can move it around until I'm happy that I've got the same border all sides of that, which I think that looks perfect. And then press it down. There we go. So there's my card base. Isn't that looking spectacular? You'll notice most of my cards are tent fold cards. It's just my way. I like doing tent fold cards. So I'm going to pop that up to dry. Remember, we've already cut our circles. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in some flower dies. So I've got some flower dies, and I've cut quite a few out already, but I'm going to do this large one here, and again I'm going to do it in my smaller die cutting machine. So I can put that one on there, and that's going to go. Let me just do this, otherwise this card's going to get ruined at the edges. Pop that through like that. That one's going to cut out just there. This is a linen card, so you get a lovely effect on there. If you feel like you need more of this embossed detail, then just put so I've got like a piece of waste here. I could put the 2 pieces of waste on top of there, just like that, to act as an extra shim. And you'll see, let me show you. Oh yeah, I can feel that's a lot harder to get through. So once I get this one out, see it's stuck a bit more in the die. You can see, if I just compare the two, can you see this one, the emboss is much, much deeper, just by putting that extra shim on. So it's entirely up to you how you like it to look. Now, where was the centre out of that piece of gold? Did it go anywhere? Aha, it's here. Right, so I'm going to use that piece of waste out of there, and then I'm going to put this one back on. Put that back on, and I'm going to use this little centre. I do like this little centre, and I'm going to pop that on to there. I want to try and get 2 out of there, so let's hold that. You'll be surprised how many of your dies will go through your smaller die cutting machines. There's quite a few die cutting machines on the market with either a 2.5 or a 3-inch mouth, and you can get a big chunk of your dies through there, and some of them are bigger than you can get bigger ones through than you expect. So you just put them on at an angle. You can sort of do them diagonally across the plate. So it's amazing how many you can get through. Please do not dismiss these as toys or, you know, not very useful, because I can promise you they really, really are. So we can take that one out, and then this one through there. There we go. So I've got 2 of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one, and I'm just going to use the green ink that I still had on my desk from the previous project, and I'm just going to do it into the centre of here and into the centre of here. Now you don't need to do it on the one underneath, but I do think it looks nice if you can see a little bit of that green coming out. Pop that through there. That was just my dauber I used on there. So I'm going to bring these on, turn them upside down, and the gold pieces upside down on my mat. I need a ball tool. Let's grab my ball tool. Most of the time I'm going from the outside edge into the middle. Outside edge into the middle and down like that. I'm going to turn those over. I'm just going to pop like that. And then, actually those just want to go this way. Go like that. Don't need to turn those over. And like that. So really easy to put together. I'm going to do a little blob of wet glue. Look at how small. You really don't need very much at all. And then stagger them. You can always go, oops, you see what you have to be careful is when you press down that you don't twist. Stagger those and just hold that. Then I'm going to come in again with another little bit of wet glue. Oh, that's plenty. And put this one on. Put that through there. Oops, I've got something caught. Probably a hair. And then another one. I hope you like these with the flowers. You'll soon get to know that I love putting flowers on projects. I'm known for making flowers, so you will see flowers on quite a lot of my projects. I hope you don't mind. That's where I sit comfortably, but you know, hope you like those. So we've got our gorgeous flower just here. I've also made a couple out of peach, and I've just put pearls in the centre. I might just lift those up and do a little bit more shaping because those are dry, so you can actually get in to there. And if you want to just press, just add a little bit more. What am I doing? Shape on there. There we go. And then just press that down. There we go. And what else have I done? I've done a couple of little yellow ones. And then in the gold, I've cut some foliage, you can see. And then I have also cut, let's see if I can get these off here. I've also cut some foliage and some tiny little peach flowers as well. So we can use all of those. So let's bring the card base back in. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put the gold band on. So I'm going to pop that on to here. Little bit of wet glue on the back, just round there, and that's going to sit just coming across the two elements, just like that. And I can just see I've just got a bit of wet glue on the top there, but wet glue just pushes off. And then I'm going to bring in, I should have filled these up and I forgot to fill them up. So can I see the tube of glue in case I need it? No, we might have to move across to hot glue. There we go, doesn't matter. So I'm going to start first with my gorgeous white flower. I'm just going to place these a little bit first. Then we're going to come in with the orange flowers. Sort of following the shape of that, but I'm remembering that I put my sentiment down the bottom. Then we might come in with a yellow one. Then I might do the next yellow one just in there. How's that looking? Does that look framing up okay? I want to put this gold, I'm actually going to trim it into two pieces. So I can stick a few bits like that, and then the same on this one. I can put that. And then we can come off. No, I think I want the smaller one coming off there. I can always trim these down into smaller pieces. The leaves will come out here. And then these flowers. Now, I did these yesterday. Let's see if I can make them a little bit more round in shape. And they've just got liquid pearls in the middle. I think they're tonic drops that I've put in the centre of these. That's the one I've got in white, that one I like to use. So we can just press on that. And then press there. There we go. There we are. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. There must be another one somewhere, but we'll find it. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So I'm going to pop this. Now, the great thing is about using this wet glue is it means you can lift it up. You can go again. It's entirely up to you. So we can pop this one on first. I always say it now, don't forget when you do your flowers, personally I think they look much nicer if they're pushed tight together. So where the glue is for that, I'm just going to let that catch, and then I'm going to come in with this bit of foliage. Oh yes, I like that. That looks nice, doesn't it? So let's come up with this peach one and tuck that one. So it's following the shape of the wreath a bit. A smaller yellow one. Let's capture that bit of foliage. And I think that bit of foliage needs tucking in like that. Then we need to put this one on. Does that want to come around there, or does it want to go in there? You're probably all shouting at the camera, do that, Corinne, do that. Oh, I'll put it there, I think, actually. Change my mind. Yes, I will. Commit to the stick. There we go. So then I'm going to come in with, let's do some of this foliage too. We can put the green bits in. Everything looks better with foliage. I know I sound like a bit like a stuck record, but it really does make such a difference. Well, that's my personal opinion. I really do like my foliage. I think things just look like they're floating. It doesn't look finished, but as soon as you put the foliage in, it definitely... This isn't going to look real because these flowers aren't meant to look real, but it just gives it that realism, and that's what matters. So we can pop that on there. And the more you put on, the more it comes to life. It really does. And I'm just sticking these into the bits of glue that are already on. Now, remember, I'm not going to come off here because it's not going to. But there's no harm in coming off the edge. It's not got catching with the glue. There's no harm coming off the edge of your card or off the top. It really, I think it adds to it. So let's start doing some of these. Let's do some of those there. Pop those over the top. I want a little one just to go in there. I want a middle-sized one to go in just there. I've got a bigger one. Might not use all these, you know. Might not use them all. Let's come down there with that one. No, I'm going to go in with that smaller one, I think. I'm not going to use them all, she says, as she puts them all onto the project. Do I want this one? Do I want this one? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I think I'm going to stop there. Now, again, it's entirely up to you. If you want to do some liquid pearls, actually, tying those in, I might just do it. And you'll probably say to me, no, Corinne, doesn't need it. But I'm actually going to put a couple in just up there. 1, 2. Now, if you do this, just remember, please leave it overnight and let it dry. Just to give those, because they will smudge. There we go. I like that. That is my sort of card. So this time we've done a wreath, but we've done it in paper flowers, and I love the peaches and soft greens. How about that? I hope you've enjoyed doing that. Please show me something similar that you make too. So until next time, happy crafting, friends, and thanks for watching.